We back. Let's get it. All right, boss. You got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah. Now I definitely heard the Parsons, and I stand 100% with getting the Parsons. I'm not a choir bar guy. I'm not the person that need a person to have perfect attendance. I don't need you to be Mr. Kiss All the Babies. I need you to be first a good football player. And then I want you to be good enough to fit in our locker room, because the OC and I know you know, Sky, it don't matter what level of play you had. You know that all locker rooms are not families. That's a dream. It's not corporate America.
I think he could fit though, boss.
You said what now?
I think he could fit I think he'd be fine in the locker room.
Me too. I mean, because when I watch him and I listen to all the people that had, concerns, I also listened to people that was vouching for him. Most importantly, I looked at the body language of the men around him. And if you watch the body language when he's playing, when he's working out, you see a whole lot of support. And I'll tell you firsthand from playing Division I college football, if we don't like you, we don't like you. And it's pretty obvious. So it's one of those things when I look at the small signals, because obviously none of us have the intel that the NFL teams are going to have. So when we're making this assessment, we're making it on limited information. But based on the limited information, I would get him and not even blink, and it just makes sense. More so because I've said this so many times in the Boss Cowboy Guide, and I mean this. Linebacker is thin.
Mm-hmm.
In free agency, because there's going to be another wave of free agency after the draft. It's also super thin in this draft. So it's one of those things to where his talent is on the level of a top 10 guy, and if he's there and we get him, I'm going to love it.
They're not going to like me. I'm a little biased, OC. I don't know if I told you this, but Micah Parsons comes from my hometown. I know the kid.
PA?
He's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He's a great kid. I know what the reports try to say about him when he was young and in college. He made some mistakes, but he is a really good kid. I know his mom and his father comes from a good background. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I know everybody says, "Well, we got to worry about what he's going to do off the field." I don't think you will. What he did when he was young was what he did when he was young. If you notice, over the last 2-3 years or 3-4, whatever it's been, he has not done anything like that. But speaking of the player, I think he's going to be phenomenal, OC. I think it depends where he goes initially. That will determine how fast he'll be good. And I'll say this. I want to elaborate on the show I did with Botch earlier. I think right now, if he went to a team like Washington, the New York Giants, he'd step in right now and make a major impact because he already has the players around him and they'll utilize him correctly. I love Parsons as a player. I do. And if we take him, I will be happy. But I don't trust that this franchise will utilize his immediate skills right now correctly. But I think you should do, OC, and you elaborate on this. When you have these young guys, they're not obviously all the way developed. But while they're developing, utilize what they do best right now and continue to develop them along the way. And what Micah does best is he goes forward right now. He can blitz very well. He can play the run very well. But I don't want to ask him to be the green dot guy. And I need a green dot guy in Dallas. I just do. I need a green dot guy, and I don't think he's that just yet. I think he has the ability to get there because he learned a new position and got it down pat pretty damn good in 2 years. So imagine what he'll be 2 years from now. So I think he's going to be a beast in the league. I don't know that I trust Dallas to utilize him correctly right away, but it could pay off later down the line. I think he'll be better than Jalen Smith.
Okay. So listen, I argued this point explicitly on the Boss Cowboy show.
Okay.
To your point, I don't care. I care, okay? But I don't think it's as relevant, the issue that he had when he was young at Penn State, because here's the deal with scouts and people and even fans, right? They judge so hard mistakes that others have made because it's public knowledge, right? What if we knew everything you did when you were a freshman in college?
Right.
It's like, hey man, you would have a whole different opinion about how we should deal with you, right? So I think that people have to have the ability to grow, and also I think that I want a little edge on my defensive guys, right? I don't want them wild, reckless. I don't want them breaking the law. I don't want them going to jail, doing crazy things, but I want them to be a little bit edgy because that's what makes defensive players good. I think you don't coach 4-3. That's hard to coach. right? That's hard to coach. You don't coach closing speed. You don't coach strength. And so I think that, I mean, in terms of athletic ability, for me, if he were to be drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, I think that he is a rush type end. I think you use him as almost like a joker type player, a rover joker type player. You don't make him think too much. You let him go, to your point.
Yep, I totally 100% agree. He's been a hot topic to me this year, which is strange to me. The kid's a player. He's a player. I mean, I've seen people say I would take him the first round. This is crazy. You know, this is insane to me. There's teams out there that will value what he is. Now, if we're talking Dallas Cowboys, I get how fans could be a little hesitant on it. But me personally, OC, I don't know if you've heard me say this on previous shows. At the end of the season, I was all the way, hey, linebacker's an issue, y'all. We need to address it. Now, it doesn't have to be at pick 10, but just know, you better not play around with it, because I don't trust these two guys right now until otherwise.